In this episode, we are testing the cheapest impact guns that are still high torque and work with your common batteries. Maybe you share batteries on a common charger and you don't have the money to buy name brand tools. We want to see if these are worth a lick just because they are so inexpensive. We're going to put them through real world testing. We're going to see what their limits are. We're going to see if they actually are able to do what the marketing team says that they do, and do a little bit of a durability test as to when these things are gonna let you down to a point of no repair. So we got brand new batteries from Home Depot. So these are legit brand new batteries that we picked up today. We're gonna see what these compare to each other and to a name brand high torque expensive gun. Let's get into it, here we go. All right, so we've done dozens and dozens of tool reviews over the years. Like, this is not a new thing on the internet, but we're gonna do a review on some impact guns here that you might want to gift somebody for Christmas. But if that's not your intent and you still need something for that special someone, head over to thebossgarage.com. We've got a pile of new merch. We've got a brand new calendar for you guys that shows all of our projects and lots of cool stuff. And if you need an impact gun, we've got the Bzizi, which is only $50 US, which would be comparable to your DeWalt, even though it's gray, just so that, you know, they don't get sued. Uh-oh. Oh, yep. We've got a Labanton, which is your knockoff Milwaukee, and it is red, but you know, the color, the color red is what your Milwaukee looks like after about 4 months in the shop and a bunch of greasy handprints on it. And we've got a Caricos, which is your knockoff Makita. Are these just the same guns except...
Are they really?
These two are exactly
Those two look the same.
But yeah, that is identical. It's a different color. It is the exact same.
Well, it's gonna come down to the battery then.
Yeah.
I don't think that will work.
No. I just had to be sure. They just have a different holder for the battery, which is fine. All right, so we'll put the links to all of these in the description. I really hope they perform, because what it does is hold all of the companies, not only these ones, but the high brands accountable as well. Keeps all of the manufacturers on their toes. Generally, I do like to use them for a while in the shop before I give them my full recommendation. Now, these two might come down to the battery, but they're both 5 amp hour, 18 volts. So it should be a pretty close comparison. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is weigh them. Now, if I was to use a drill or a small impact, if I was building a barn or doing roof steel, I would want the lightest drill because they're not putting out a crazy amount of work. It's just that weight of you carrying that around all day. I would sacrifice power for weight as long as it's still able to do the job. For an impact gun that I don't hold all day, every day, I would want it to be the heaviest because that generally means that they're using quality materials. I know that the high brand keyboards, they just start putting lead in the bottom of them because the electronics are the electronics, but to make you think that it's a good quality keyboard, they just add some weight to it. This one is 71.9 ounces, the Zibzi is 69.9 ounces. Oh, 70? It's lighter. Caricos is 71.9 ounces. I have another gun that's 3/8 that is probably closer to the size than this. 2960-20. It only weighs 55 ounces. That's interesting. So, all right, so I don't have one that's exactly the same size. If we look at this, this number is something -20. It's a little bit smaller and it weighs 56 ounces. And then this one is a little bit bigger and it weighs 95 ounces. So we've got one that's 20 ounces less and 20 ounces more. Nothing that's similar in 3/8 or 1/2 inch. So we'll kind of see what these two are able to do compared to these. Now these are used. This one's fairly new, but it'll be interesting to see what that end result is. Batteries, Milwaukee one is 25, the DeWalt one is 23, and the Makita is 22. Now each one of these is 5 amp hour, the DeWalt is 20 volt, and the Makita and the Milwaukee are 18 volt. So we got our socket. Let's do grade 5. Let's see if we can snap it off or strip it. No, I'm just joking. I imagine the DeWalt will be the exact same.
No, they're different.
Exactly. Actually, it should be a scooch faster than the Milwaukee.
Actually, it's pronounced Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land.
I was not aware of that.
The DeWalt is a little bit faster than the Milwaukee. We'll see how the Makita does. That was much longer. All right, let's see how quickly I can strip it with my Milwaukee. It still. So which one was 50 bucks?
The yellow one.
The yellow one. Let's see how quick we can do that into some hardwood. Here we've got 4 guns. We got 2 guys.
4 hands.
You're going all red?
I'm red.
You're
Yeah.
all red?
Red till I'm dead.
But I've got the DeWalt. We're gonna keep going until the socket slips off of the... Are you in full power? Full power. Full power.
Number 3. Number 3.
Number 3. All right. Like lean on them. You can lean on them to start. As soon as they start digging, then it's pointless. You can just hold the trigger. Ready?
I can't lean on like you. Too short.
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh. I see your finish off. Got 86 at the socket. 109 at the socket.
Yeah, so keep in mind that as it gets hotter, it expands and doesn't do as good of a job on the thing, right?
96 at the socket. 80.
Because you won. You did it the quickest, right?
Yeah.
Now do the...
I got 80. Motor 80. 93. 91. 102, 103. Ooh, she was working. 80 at the motor.
Okay.
Really well
70.
paid. Yeah, 66. 62, walk in the park.
Now let's see what this one does.
Yow! 106 at the head of the bolt.
Yeah, 124.
124, yeah.
I got another tattoo.
Yeah.
Good for you. So this is a used 2962P-20, which is a half-inch impact, has 650 foot-pounds of nut-busting torque. Let's see how quick it does. The other ones are cooling down, and the batteries are charging again, but we'll see how quickly this one does it, because the other Milwaukee just killed it. So,
yeah.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Did it.
Warm? It's not warm at all, though.
73 at the head. Yeah, I saw 116 in there.
Yeah.
119, 122, 123. Oh, wow. 194, 197.
It's a lot of energy being transferred.
I guess so.
Could a marketing team lie?
No.
Let's see, just for fun, if a drill can even do this. This is a brand new Milwaukee name brand drill. Let's see if in the first setting it's able to put it in. Oh, I can't hold on to that, but that did it quicker than the impacts. That's crazy. I didn't have enough, I wasn't ready for that. And then it stopped. So it couldn't do it all the way. I have to fight to hold that. All right, so the drill got it in most of the way. Let's see if my bolt motor, also known as the Sawzall, I can finish it up. So we got this in number 1 and low. Just snapped a bit. So we've got a nice ash log here, nice hardwood. This thing is heavy, and the lag bolts will go almost all the way through. So let's see with my original Milwaukee, we'll set the benchmark and see how long it takes to get one of these in here. So that's where she spun off. That I have my doubts that those impacts will be able to do it the entire length. I just scribed on it so we can tell when it stops spinning. It'll be a time thing as to how far it can get it down into the wood and how quickly it does it. So We'll line up all 4 side by side. I think that's it. Let's see what the temperatures are. My hands are all tingly. So we got 81 at the head, and the fans inside there we got about 98, and my socket is up to about 80. Hottest part is right by the anvil, and that's 98. It's about 65, 70 in the shop. There's your height for your first one. We'll see if the other batteries are charging again. So they are going to be 100%. We got 3 bars, power settings on number 3. Got a fresh socket that's cold. We got a fresh bolt right side by side. We'll see what that does. It stopped on its own there, so I'm gonna say that that's it. 77, kind of on the end of the gun. We've got 90, about 103. Yeah, 103. And the socket is 103 at the anvil and 86 at the tip. So I did it just a touch lower. The amount of energy transferred, the other one's 108, 109 still, and this bolt is 115.
Uh-oh.
That's
Try a different bolt?
yeah, we can try a different bolt.
Shoot.
It was a new bolt. So it snapped the bolt right off, but it was still just barely turning it. So I think that's putting out a touch more than these. I don't know what the speed was. We can figure that out with the camera afterwards. But that's interesting that it snapped that right off. Let's see if we still got full power. Yeah, so we still have full power of the battery, and we're still in number 3. Let's try it again. snapped in the same spot. So actually, and I messed up because I should have checked the temperature. 2 of these bolts, and it's got 92 degrees on the head of the bolt, the head of the socket, sorry, we're at 150. And then in the back, where the hottest point is still only 94, 95. For doing 2, this one is not near as hot. So let's see if we can see if these ones are able to snap it off. The bolts are still, the bolt is still 110 degrees. That one is 90. So they're still got some temperature. Now let's see if we can snap them off. So it does not have the power to snap it, but it must, the temperature rising in the gun actually limits its top power. So when it's colder, it's stronger than when it's hot. Let's see if we can snap it with this one. Same gun, so I don't imagine so. Interesting, so exact same height, does not have the power to shear it though, whereas the other one did twice. Because
prove that one's.
yeah, sorry. I felt it. Sorry, I should have pulled it out, but it sheared it twice, and it sheared it in the same spot. 2 different bolts, both brand new. 103 at the anvils. About 112 out of the fan. Socket is now I think 110, 118. I wonder if I can shear it with a DeWalt now.
Oh yeah.
So it split the wood there, so that doesn't count anymore. It goes down to like 80% of its total torque, and as it cools down, you get that extra 20% back again.
Right. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
interesting. So heat
kills everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so nothing beats real world testing. This is a typical semi truck trailer, 1.5/16 socket. We have a nice snap-on socket. These are torqued to 475 foot-pounds and then used for a while as well. So let's see if we can take it off. Go back to our original Milwaukee gun. That was one of the tests we did. It was one of the first cordless guns to be able to take off a lug nut in a 1/2-inch form. So let's see what this is like. So it did it, but just barely. That's so that I'm still pretty impressed. I don't think it could do a whole lot more. That's not warm at all, and that actually did pretty good. The socket is warmer than the tip. So let's go to the. It's busy. I am going to get some hearing protection because I forgot that inside. All right. That one actually did it quicker. Excellent. So let's try the Makita. All right, I did it. I think not as fast as the DeWalt, but I think a little faster than the Milwaukee. Cool the socket down again so it shrinks. Try for comparison my original Milwaukee with a used battery. Still 4 bars. So still way more powerful. I got a torque wrench again. Nice. All right, so the other truck gets safetied every year, and I think those rims were off in the summer for the safety, so that would be pretty close to 475 foot-pounds. This truck has been sitting since last safetied in the late 80s or 90s. Regardless, it's been sitting for 25 years. These would be the ultimate test. Also, because I don't have a 1.5-inch half-inch socket, I have to use my chrome socket set with an adapter. So if it's able to take these off, I would be surprised. But the nice thing about these is that the right-hand side of the vehicle is right-hand thread. The left side of the vehicle is left-hand thread. So what we can do is test the forward and reverse of the guns, because typically they say they're stronger in reverse than they are in forward. So we'll see if it does it at all, and we'll see if the Milwaukee's able to do it at all. I was surprised it did that. It was fighting it the whole way off because it's been...
Yeah, those are rusted.
It's rusted through, right? So let's see what Milwaukee does. Very interesting. All right, Makita, do your thing. I never would expect these guns to shatter this chrome socket. We are using a chrome socket. Get over it. That's pretty quick. Now let's see what Milwaukee does. The socket's not even hot. Like that was just a walk in the park for it. And it might be hit and miss too.
Yeah.
These have all been put on the exact same time. They've gone through the exact same weather conditions. This truck is from Texas, so it is relatively rust-free, but that doesn't mean that one is not as dirty as the other one, but impressive all the same. Look at that bling. Problem. It's those caps that protect it. This is the Makita. Just stop there, but so what it is the inside rim is being held on by this stud, and then the outside rim is held on by this nut on this stud. So sometimes this stud spins on the inside, which is why everybody hates these. I don't think that one would do it. so no problem. That was the one that the Makita couldn't take off.
Crazy.
Seems like they're kind of varying, like they're
Yeah, that's
like
all
one's
over the place.
better at one and then one's better at the other, so. I would say that it cannot do that. Let's try the knockoff Milwaukee. I would say that's a no. We'll grab one extra one with this knockoff Milwaukee just to see if it was a fluke that that one was about to fall off.
Yeah.
Okay, just as a fluke, we're gonna see if it'll take off another nut in a different spot. Maybe that was just a fluky thing, that one was loose and ready to fall off. Could very well be. So we're back down to the real Milwaukee, just in case. This is kind of a benchmark. No problem. Okay. All right, so I think we kind of found the limit for these guns. It's still impressive nonetheless. The one still managed to take the nut off. Might have been a fluke. Maybe the battery was just right. They kind of vary. But let's take it inside and let's torque some nuts down and see if we can actually measure what these guys can do. Now, we're not the torque test channel, and those are great guys. Check them out as well. But maybe just mention that they need to try these out and see if their numbers compare or are the same as what we're doing. So, yeah, here we go. So we got a $500 torque wrench that goes up to 1,200 foot-pounds of torque. And that's what these guns are advertising. I have a 3/4 inch torque wrench. It only goes up to 600. So we're gonna pop this on and we're just gonna torque these grade 8 bolts down till we'll start with 600 and see if they can crack them loose. And then we'll keep going until they can't crack them loose. You go to the gym this morning?
I'm just thinking, what are you gonna name her? I think you should name it Lucille or something like that.
Lucille?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that was Uncle Phil's pool cue. And he like opens it up and he's like, Lucille.
I don't think the vise is gonna be able to hold it. It's a good vise, but we might have to go to that one. That one's welded to that table. I think if we push, then the whole bench has to go that way. Now, I have no idea how this handle bent. So we bought a 1-inch socket set, and of course it doesn't have an 1 5/16 socket. That's the biggest socket that we kind of have that would fit the guns. Now, on an impact, an adapter or an extension takes some of the twists on the hammer, so it reduces the tension on this. But on a handle, it doesn't act that way because once the twisting is done, it'll turn the socket in the end. So the weakest point is now going to be the socket, and we're probably going to snap the end of this off at some point, but we'll see if where we can stop. Andy, what's your bet?
Of what you can torque it to?
What it can, no. What are the guns
breakaway?
gonna take? Yeah, what's the breakaway? It says 1,000 foot-pounds of nut busting torque.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of nut busting, but nothing that big.
Well, we'll start with 500. That's roughly
Yeah.
what the lug nuts would be.
Yeah, set the bar kind of low. I'd be worried about the Oh, because I'd be more worried about the hernia.
Yeah. I've had 3 already. All right. Nothing. Well, you get to do 600, buddy.
Yeah, that's a good way. Just keep damping it up a little bit. Like, hopefully it doesn't do this. I don't want to be the 700 guy. Holy smokes.
The whole torque wrench is bending. There's no way we're gonna get 1,000 foot-pounds. I think we're gonna shoot a bull.
Man, it better stall out.
It's gonna take it off like nothing though. It's lifting up my jaws, but I can't do it.
Get a better grip on it. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
No desire to go to 700.
I'd say that's like the max though. That was a big difference from 500 to 600.
Yeah, 500 walked it out with nothing.
Yeah. All right. 600 again with the carry coast. It's vibrating it out of the vise, but not able to crack it loose. Interesting. And that's full battery and a nice cold gun. $600 I think is like it. Let's grab the last fresh bolt. Like nothing. So, I'm wondering.
Let's try to get to 7.
I think we stripped the last one. We can try again.
Okay. If it's over. We can see what, like if it's able to torque it down past 700,
Yeah.
it should click, right?
Milwaukee can take it off. Oh, you want to try and do 700?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
All right.
You want help? Seven.
That's 7.
Might have just been a fluke bolt.
Yeah. That is the limit.
700.
700 foot-pounds.
Liar. Should we confirm it's still at 7? Oh, there we go. 700.
The Milwaukee, also known as the limited film. Cannot do it. All right.
Wow.
It's up to you, Mr. DeWalt.
DeWalt. Yeah, push on it back. That's the technique.
The gun's getting hot there. 700. 700. The actual Milwaukee, and that's just with a 5 amp hour battery, because if we put a
12.
like a 12 on there, it'll do even more, right? So. It struggled, and by that point we're stretching the threads already.
Yeah.
So it did it, but 700's the key.
The match for these guys.
We're done with you know, the actual test, but
Leonard said no.
that did okay. That did all right. I've bought cheap tools before. I want them at a Stag of Dough. I want a drill, and I had it on the second step of a step ladder, and it fell, and then the handle snapped right off.
Huh.
So,
Pass over to me. Oh. No, that's holding together.
yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty good. That's not bad. A couple scratches, but
Oh, light switch.
yeah. All right. Oh. There we go. It has to land
Does it still
just
work
right.
though?
It still works.
It'll probably still work.
Nope.
Nope.
That's the end of that
That
one.
was it.
Gotta plug that back in again.
Well, someone did want to be able to repair it. That was repairability was one person's suggestion.
It'll still work if you plug it back in again.
Yeah.
I can glue that together and give it to somebody for Christmas. So that's not great because they fall off the table all the time, right?
Yeah.
So let's see if I can.
I've seen you drop a gun. I don't know how many times, like an impact gun.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, and I've never seen it do that.
No. Let me drop it right on the battery here, and see if it does the same thing. So that's good. That was this way. Let's drop it this way. So that's exactly what you want to happen,
Yeah.
and Milwaukee's have that all the time. I can't get this battery out by hand for the life of me.
So that's the trick.
It's just drop because it. All right, well, let's drop it on its head. All right, I'm gonna drop it on the battery again, just a little bit higher. Slides in from the front, and so does the Makita. But I'm dropping it this way, and the
Does it still
battery's
work?
popping off. Yeah. So I'm dropping it this way, and the battery's popping off, even though the battery's meant to go the other way.
Right? Yeah.
So that's good. I'll drop it on angle like this, with this hitting first. Like, that only lasted twice, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the battery. So if you look at my good Milwaukee, they actually have like a vibration. They have an extra piece in here that's actually supposed to take some of that vibration away.
Right.
So it vibrates, and same with the big gun. You see the battery's rattling. It's supposed to, because it's trying to reduce the shock load on the battery, right? So in theory, if we drop that one, it should break in the same spot, because I think it's the same housing. So if we drop it right on, yeah. So that's it.
I can't believe these both broke.
And that's the weak point when you drop it, because
Yeah.
that sucks. 'Cause it's useless now. Like you can't fix that. All the vibration ends up in the battery. Like my hands are tingling from doing these tests, and so all of that, because this is the heaviest part.
Yeah.
You can't glue that back together hard enough to make that stay.
No.
$50.
It's the cheapest one.
Wow.
That's interesting. We dropped this one multiple times, and it never did. So
Yeah,
I
in
dropped it
different
like
directions.
this. Yeah, I dropped it like this on the battery, and
Yeah.
100%. So torque-wise, they're not a big enough difference between them to say I definitively want this one. But those are cheaper plastics than that is. And even though I cannot get this battery out, like, it's starting to loosen up a bit.
I wonder why.
So to me, I would be pissed off if it's that difficult to take it out. But that might just be one mold thing or whatever. But the fact that it's been able to do this,
Yeah.
6 times. We've dropped that one 10 times. We dropped these ones twice just in that same position, and it broke instantly. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's only fair to see at what point the Bisbee breaks. So not that you would ever be any higher than this working on something, but still good.
Hey, this is a really, really good deal. It's looking
I
that
think it's a fluke. This is like really a $500 impact, but they... That was did it. All right, so what step is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That is the weak point. So that's all right. So I've got the battery's not connected. Yeah, still works. And the rubber held it together. All right, so it's only fair to do it with a Milwaukee. I've got. I'm gonna throw a shitty battery on it though. It's really fair. But keep in mind that. This thing also weighs more too. This one's 90 ounces compared to the 70. So it weighs like 20% more. So we were at 5 steps. That was here?
Yep.
Alright, still good. Still good. This is an old Milwaukee though. It doesn't work, but I just want to see how good the plastic is. So how'd the shot burn down? Well, we were dropping batteries from 20 feet up, and then the one just decided to explode. So that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's still together.
So is this what you're paying for? This is the extra.
This is the extra $400. Technically, you drop the other one 8 times before you buy this one.
Done.
It is done?
Yep.
That was from like 12 feet up. Like right from here.
Yeah.
So twice as high as the DeWalt. Like when are you going to be dropping an impact on concrete that high up, right? Big difference though, and it weighs way more. Different type of plastic. There's different PLAs, right? So it's a different grade for sure. All right, so we're gonna take these guns apart and just take a quick peek at what's going on inside of them. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what microchips or part numbers or anything, but I'm curious to see how much lubrication's in there, what these anvils kind of look like. So, no, I'll use an Allen. I'm gonna use some hand tools because I want to see, those fit in pretty tight, but I want to see whether the bolts are tight, and they definitely are. So that's a good sign. Like it's like a self-tapper, not a threaded part. That's ridiculous. Oh, they're Loctited in, nice. That's really good because it's working. Can't get my socket in there because it doesn't go in nice. But the Loctite is being a real pain. So a little bit of lubrication in there. I wouldn't say that that's excessive. I really felt that this anvil here, it seemed to hit more than the other one. It felt like it was quicker and closer together rather than a big hit. Definitely lubrication on there. I don't know. I think you could add a little bit, but there's plenty in there. There's nothing to really argue about. And it had one little, must have a little capacitor in there. It still kind of worked for half a second there. Sealed bearing. All of these bolts are nice and tight, but these don't feel like they have Loctite on them. Now sometimes they'll have a stamping in there to show what kind of plastic it is, so I don't know, I don't see it. And then they did have little hexagon like strengthening in there. It just wasn't enough to keep it from cracking. So it is fairly flexible, but not enough to deal with the weight of the battery. Everything else seems pretty generic. The solder seems to be done really nice. So the circuit board is all encased so that you could probably get it wet. I don't think that getting it wet would do anything. And then the guts, nice sealed bearings. Got some lubrication in there, plastic fan. Everything else looks pretty good. Nothing really concerning of what's going on in there, but the plastic is the weak part. Let's take this one apart and see if that's any different, and then we'll take a look at the Milwaukee. Now the Labenfunktum, or the Milwaukee knockoff, also has Loctite in these anvil bolts, so that's encouraging. While I'm taking it apart, I do want to mention that we're not standing behind anything or verifying any of that, or that any of them are going to do what these ones did. We just feel that this is going to be typical of anything that you buy, even if the companies change names or change colors. I think all of these are available in the different battery configurations. Everything that I've done so far, I'd probably buy them again. I'd be a little more careful about dropping them, but I really do think you're getting very good value for the little money that you're putting out, especially when you're starting out. So these are Torx instead of Phillips, and you're able to take the back housing off as well. So the housings are slightly different. The internals are exactly the same. A little bit different configuration. So this would be the DeWalt knockoff. This is the Milwaukee knockoff. So instead of having the fan at the front, it's at the back. Same size bearing. Looks like they bought them from the same manufacturer. The windings and the circuit board are exactly identical. The hammers are exactly the same amount of lube. So everything is identical. A little different configuration on the handles. These have more bolts in them and a bolt on the cap, or the cap is bolted on, but the plastic on these was much cheaper than on the DeWalt knockoff. So it doesn't matter about where you put your parts, they're all identical. The insides are exactly the same, which is why they put out basically the exact same power. One just uses a better plastic than the other, and that is why I highly recommend you go with that one. We'll take apart the Milwaukee real quick, show you guys the difference and why it makes more power. Okay, so this is interesting. They've got the circuit board right on the windings and they are not covered, which is why it's already rusty. probably from working outside. So this quit because it just stopped working, not that the anvil wasn't putting out as much power or anything. If you look at the circuit board, that's pretty dirty and gross because it's not encased in the epoxy. If you look at the size of the anvil, the planetaries are actually the exact same size. I think a bigger bearing at the back, and then a bigger actual weight in here. And this is what gives you that extra bit because this is spinning, right? The anvils are actually the same size. So not much difference between the anvil on a Milwaukee and on the knockoffs. It's just a matter of more weight coming around, hitting it with this thing. But it's the same size planetaries that are driving it. So if they would have upped the weight on their driver, then those guns would be able to keep up with the Milwaukee as well. These will also be available on eBay if you want to buy that pack there. All right, so what we do know is that these guns are made by multiple different manufacturers, multiple different colors, and the specs are different on each stage. We compared it to our Milwaukee because that's the one I had in the shop, and you can buy the same version of these knockoffs in a bigger size that might be able to put out the same amount as the Milwaukee. We chose the smaller ones because they were under $100. If you buy the bigger one, it might come closer to the Milwaukee. We don't know, we haven't tested that. Maybe we'll do that in a future episode, but we do know is that these inexpensive, under $100 guns definitely carry their own weight.
Oh no!
If I nailed it down to one word, it would be impressed. Just spend, you know what? If we can convince those manufacturers to spend an extra $15 on better plastic, that's not as good of a design, I don't think, as that. Look at that, nice and clean, nice and tidy. Interesting. All right, so we've tested these cheap ones and the expensive ones to basically their breaking point. And I really, hands down, this guy put up the best fight for the value. $50 US. It did not overheat. It survived the longest in the drop, and it did exactly what the other ones did as well. 100%. Give this as a gift, throw it in a stocking stuffer, Secret Santa, whatever it is, treat yourself. Perfect for kids starting out. I think it's difficult to say, okay, keep an eye on this brand because I think they do get sued on a regular basis by companies that are in yellow and whatnot for infringement, so they just change the name, but you can kind of see the look of it if you want an affordable tool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Check out our other tool reviews as well, and give us some suggestions on what else we should check out. But Merry Christmas from all of us here at DeBoss Garage. We might have another tool review yet coming up. We've got a pile of projects on the channel. We've got our diesel electric hybrid conversion. We just finished our first prototype that's going through testing. We got the Ram that's coming up on a pile of work. We've got the Airstream that's getting outside lighting, rewired inside. We've got air conditioner and toilet. And then we've got our 65 Fargo compound turbo DT466 is getting its first start real soon too. And if you don't know the channel, or even if you do, and you want to know about all the other projects, a good thing to check out is our calendar on DeBossGarage.com. Head over there. They're a perfect gift too. Pair them together with some of these tools and get motivated to work on your stuff. We got such a variety on the channel. We like tinkering on everything. So definitely don't limit yourself to just the tool review videos. Check out everything else as well. And if you head to the merch store, that helps support us to be able to keep doing this stuff as well. So Merry Christmas. Remember, if you're not filthy, you're not rich, get out there and work on it because nobody else is going to do it for you. So no better feeling than finishing those projects and putting it in your own calendar. Here we go.